Okay, guys, I'm back on live. I was not going to let uh, technology defeat me as it has in the past weeks by failing me. The problem I have here is that I have poor internet, and I keep getting messages that on my screen saying your connection is poor. And I've got Starlink in the mountains. So I've asked the tech guys, I've asked the company to come out and fix it. So is anyone in there? Am I live? So I just want to. Nice. Okay, so I just want to continue on with the theme of my progressions. So my sun progressed into Taurus when I was 27 degrees. I started a family. I got married, had a son. I was a family man and a musician, Taurus. So, but Taurus is also the philosopher. So it would have been about 18 years ago when I woke up because of all the study I did. I mean, sure, I left school at 14 and a half, but I was into books, and I mean real books. I've only read one fictional book in my life, only one. So since 14 and a half, and I had this great, and then Led Zeppelin turned up as well when I left school, and it's like I was into books and Led Zeppelin, and I shared this hippie Celtic spirit in their music because as a boy I started playing the guitar at 9 years of age, and my teacher, Mr. Redfern, he taught me how to play the guitar, and he also used to read us Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. So I'm hearing about Gollum and the Hobbits and Middle Earth at 9 years of age. So at 14, when Led Zeppelin turns up, it switched on my Tolkien memories, like Lord of the Rings. It was all because how many songs do they have devoted to Lord of the Rings? Misty Mountain Hop, The Battle of Evermore, Stairway to Heaven is from the Bible and Rudolf Steiner. Back to Tolkien. Kashmir, Four Sticks, Ramble On. No other band in history has ever gone anywhere near Tolkien. Led Zeppelin have about 9 songs that are ripped straight out of Lord of the Rings. So, so the connection was from when I was 9 years of age. Music began and Tolkien began, and then as a teenager, I matured very, very quickly. At 14, I was pretty much a man. Like I matured very quickly. I could get into bars. I was driving a car. My father gave me his station wagon, And I was driving at 14 and a half into Myrtleford, Wangaratta, Wodonga. I used to go to Wodonga, Beechworth. At 14 and a half, I was like a man. So I don't know why I'm saying this, but I guess I'm very, very happy. You know, like this is gratitude. I just showed you my progressions, right? So isn't it amazing that my son today is on the MC and this channel, which has helped so many other channels and YouTube make a gazillion dollars? I hope you enjoy your swimming pools and your Rolexes. But anyway, it's all about gratitude. But I still do want to share a little bit about those progressions. So in 2021, my son was now finally in Gemini, and I was anticipating that because I knew that I made a big change in 2019, August 11, 2019, to leave Australia and come to America. So I was probably in that. I was watching that astrologically, my son climbing, and I was very, very fortunate. Anyone who's fortunate who's born in the afternoon with the sun, in like the seventh house, especially the seventh house, is lucky because they're going to start off as mystics and diviners, and their sun is always going to progress up to the MC. So that eventually they're going to be famous or acclaim. Their ninth house is ablaze. Their 10th house. So, but during the time my son was progressing through the Taurian period, I was still the philosopher. I was a musician and a philosopher, Taurus. I was a Jehovah's Witness knocking on doors for 25 years. Imagine that. Me pestering people, waking them up and disturbing them. I used to do this. I was a pioneer for years. I was pretty zealous. Am I still going? I'm getting messages that I'm not going. Yeah, yes? I am. Oh, good. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm at the mercy of very, 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 very poor internet. All right. So let me continue. Where was I going? Okay. So during the Taurian period, family, music, philosophy, reading books, very Taurian, until the age of what, 57? I can't think. I'm 62 now. Okay, so yeah, 4 degrees, 4 years ago, 62, so 58, 59. My second Saturn turnaround. It was the year I nearly died. It was the year I shriveled down to 44 kilos. My usual weight was 63 all through my life, 63. The year I was born, 63 kilos, all my life. Then in, I don't know, 2009, you see, something strange happened. In 2007, I started itching. I had this itch problem. It was really irritating at first, but it goes back to when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, my father had a tobacco plantation. And so I went down to the Ovens River. The Ovens River was just a 10-minute walk. Beautiful river. I always used to go down to the river. And I had to go through the tobacco field, right? So this one day I was down the river having a nice day. And then it was late in the evening, and the aeroplane, the sharecropper, the aeroplane that sprays the DDT over the tobacco had just gone over, and there was this gas in the air, and it was like I walked through it. I walked through this gas. By the time I got home, my whole body was covered in white welts. And she was horrified. I don't think she took me to hospital, but so later on, a homeopath detected that I have lead poisoning. And I told him about this this event when I was 16 that happened to me. Anyway, so in 2007, I was doing a lot of research. I was on the internet and I was reading a lot of books, and then I started my MrAstrotheology, this channel, on the 12th of January 2011. Capricorn. That's when you start a channel. And in January, not December. So where was it going? The Taurian period. Yeah, the Taurian period was a grounding, and it also has to do with, I guess, need for comfort and probably luxury and maybe lust or greed. So it has its other side as well. But now it's all Gemini. And I knew by watching this, my son climbing the mountain to the point of the MC, I knew that it was a good thing. So this is what this is about, is the progressed chart, you see. So I don't think I want to share again, unless anyone wants me to share that again, what I did in part one. I've still got the tabs up, so I can do that. All right. Well, I assume yes. I'm going to do it anyway. Here it goes. All right, so for all those that want okay, this is 0 point. So this is the day I was born, or the year, because you can see the sun. It's not the day. Mercury's moved, the moon has moved. It's it's the yeah. Well, it's not going to be dead on, but because this is not going to hone into March the 24th on me, it's just going to hone into the year. So that's the most it would have progressed. The sun, you see the moon's up to about 27, 26 degrees. It was at 15 degrees Pisces. But anyway, look, it doesn't matter. The point is the sun's going this way, and it's got to reach this point, right? This is the point that and then it has a period of some kind of recognition, public service. This is the social house. You can see I'm not really a social guy. Although, no, I'm not. Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is in Pisces. Not good, not good. So, but, and again, you could say, well, hang on, your MC's in Gemini as well. It's so why is it not good? Well, Mercury is saved by being right next door to Jupiter, who's domiciled in Pisces, and anything that touches Jupiter turns to gold. It's Midas touch. So having Mercury 26 degrees and Jupiter 27 degrees is really, really handy for my communication and my loud voice. Deep. Okay, so the point is the sun is going this a ways. All right, so if we go to there, I was 27. And so you can see the sun started over here and then it's up here. And that's my, sex, drugs, and rock and roll days of my teen years, but also my spiritual days in Aries as well. Always trying to be spiritual, and not so much spiritual, but philosophical. To have a philosophy and to know. And then let's go forward, and then there's the sun when I was in Puerto Morelos and had the Syncretism Academy, and I knew that was going to happen. I knew that syncretism was going to be taken to a Gemini energy, communication. Bang. The academy, the Neoplatonic Academy, was reopened after years and years of persecution. Justinian closed the Neoplatonic Academy in the year 527, if you still believe in that timeline. Okay, so there it is. Very important year, man. I mean, it's obvious. I knew that this would be a very important year, but then I also knew that 4 years later, when I turned 62, Gemini and the public arena is just going to have the sun blazing through it, man, just blazing through here for the next 30 years. And then I will learn to be more social when it gets into loving Cancer. But in the time being, I'm happy to be not very social. I'm friendly. I'm kind and amiable. But, thanks for coming. Thanks for going. And let's go to the last tab. And there you have it. Here we are today. 'Tis the 28th of October. And I am in gratitude because I see how this divine science of astrology, which is working with the ecliptic. See, these are the planets on the ecliptic. See, the signs are not the constellations. The signs they're invisible, really. You'll never see the signs. They're on the ecliptic. And this is the ecliptic over here. In fact, if I do this, I can make it more complicated. Always put the Chaldean deacons and the Ptolemaic terms in there, and you'll get more information. But again, there it is. Today, there I am in the deacon of Jupiter. Ooh. And in the terms of Mercury, 4 degrees and a half. Bang, right today, the 28th of October. And in the Babylonian stars of destiny, and I wish I had Logan here. Logan's written a book that is amazing. Logan Jason. So I wish he was here to do the numbers, but where was I going? So the stars of destiny. So I think I've just entered the terms of Uranus, because October's been a cruel date for me. It's been very, very cruel, especially the 13th of October. It's bit me in the face and hurt me badly. And excuse me, in the Babylonian stars of destiny that Logan does the best in history. Excuse me again. I got the hiccups. So I think I'm in the Uranus period. Just give me a minute. I've got a list. I know the dates. Dang. All right. Anyway, let me get back to talking to you guys. Stop sharing. Okay, Logan. Yeah, decode your reality, right? So he would know. But anyway, I've gone past the Saturn period. Very nasty. And I think it's Uranus or Neptune that I'm in now. But getting back to the progress chart, I mean, there it is. My son's reached the MC. And how many people get their channels back? Good people that have worked hard. You know what? It's quite possible that if other channels just gave back those content creators their content and their income, that pretty much everyone would be very happy with that. Because no one's happy otherwise. Are you kidding me? Send me a photograph of someone who's happy out there. Like really, really happy. Satisfied and blissful and not content and satisfied. I shouldn't be, well, I should reclaim the words, but give them the sense that I'm giving those words. So, I guess quoting Malcolm X, I think it was, if one person is suffering, then all people are suffering. I think Leonardo da Vinci said something similar. Gee, I'm getting a lot of messages. This is really good to see. You guys must be happy as well. Yeah, you are. Yeah, so I also want to speak about Kelly country, guys. So please let me see if I can find the folder that I need. This is annoying. Anyway, so Woorali. Let me talk about Woorali. Ned Kelly, he knew Woorali. Victoria, northeast Victoria. I grew up 3 hours northeast of Melbourne. And that's where Ned Kelly grew up. So let me share my screen. Yeah, hey guys, by the way, so you're watching me do a work in progress called flamenco rock, lead flamenco, flamenco blues, flamenco funk, and flamenco jazz. And 2007, can you see that scar there? In 2007, I broke this bone. I was at the top of my music. I was making $250,000 every year. doing corporate gigs, selling CDs, right? So I broke this. It was raining. I had my high heeled leather boots on, and I slipped, and the battery went bang, and it broke my thumb. So I go to the hospital and waiting for 3 hours. So I thought, I'm out of here. So I drive towards Berwick, where I was living, 30-minute drive from the town where I was playing the guitar. The battery was for my PA, for my busking. So I go to another hospital because they weren't interested in attending to it. Here's this broken thumb. So I go to another hospital, and then he just said, okay, well, just look after it, and we're going to operate and put a steel plate in there, but you're going to have arthritis. So they did. They put this steel plate in there, so they operated, and they put screws in there. And then after a year, they had it removed. And I worked on it, and even in pain, it's stiff here, and I'll tell you the reason in a minute why. The doctor said I'd have arthritis, but I said, no, I won't. I'm not going to do that. That's silly. And I've never had arthritis, right? So, and that was broken real bad. So 9 months ago, it was cold, and I'm scrounging up all this wood around the place. And I injured it. Now, I've never had a problem with it. Look, I can still bend it right down, even though I can feel a bit clinkety clunkety. So these videos that I'm doing, I'm down at about 70%. Besides, my fingers are still weak. Okay, Jimmy Page, when John Bonham died in 1980, he stopped playing the guitar for 2 years. Then he picked up the guitar and he said he couldn't play chords. He had to learn how to play chords again. Now, I stopped playing in 2012, and I went right into syncretism, still being tortured, and left the music behind. And I kind of got angry. It was my angry period. And I believe it's because I just kept walking past the guitar because my fingers were getting weaker, my playing was shit, and even the videos that I'm putting out, they're shit. I am recording them on Instagram because it's the only way that there won't be noise cancellation. And the reason I'm saying this is because someone said in the chat, play some music. No, I can't. It'll sound, I'll show you. This is how horrible it sounds. Only on the phone can I make these videos. And so that's why I'm saying that, because someone just asked me to play. Yeah, so it's no use. It's no use playing on this platform. So you have to go to my Instagram channel to see. Oh, my YouTube channel's got all the things. So I'm painting. You'll see a video where I've got a man. I used to for decades. I used to paint a man on my hand, and play for little children and make them happy. you know, because they're watching the. So those two fingers will be the legs of the man. And they would love it, you know. Anyway, so I know that sounds I know that sounded shit, but and so you'll see a few videos of that. It's pretty funny, but I have an artist friend just down the road, the partner of Tess, who owns the horses. He is a tattoo artist, and he is an artist in general, and he's going to draw me up a whole bunch of these hands, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of little jingles. I know people will like it because the kids love it. They love it. They don't care if you know you don't even play well. They just like to see that little man painted on the hand. And I thought to myself, I've been doing it. I've been doing it for decades, and yet I've never ever seen it on YouTube. I've never seen anyone else paint a man on their hand. I've never seen that, and I just uploaded it. So if you go to Santos Bonacci Music or Instagram or Synesthetic Method, you'll see those videos of the painted man. It's pretty funny. So I'm gonna be. This is an ongoing thing. Remember, I'm working with pain here. So 9 months ago, I injured this thumb, and then again I re-injured it, and then again I re-injured it, and it set me back 9 months. I decided 18 months ago that I'd start strengthening my fingers, getting the muscle back, getting the nerve energy back, and just having the fluid hands. And there's no arthritis here, but and at the same time that I was injuring this, every time I'd go out barefoot, which I would every day, I was stubbing my right toe, my two outer toes, and then again I did it again and again and again and again, and that toe is still healing. I can still feel some broken shards in there. Something's broken in my toe, but I still walk barefoot. I don't give a shit. Thanks, Jay. Jay says I'm looking younger than when she saw me. Remember, I was unwell in 2009. I started losing weight. I was 63 kilos, and then I just went into the 50s, and I'm like, I've never been when I went to weigh myself, thought I've never been in the 50s. And I remember I used to be 5'7". I remember that. Right? Now I'm 5'6". And I'm pissed off. And I realize why. It's because I've been doing this, watching and studying for 20 years. And so I've been sedentary. And but besides that, In 2009, I lost 10 kilos and I've never regained them. I've been sitting on 55 kilos for 10 years. But this itch began in 2007 when I started researching. So there was a connection between waking up, researching, and this itch. And then it got really bad in 2014. That's when it started getting nasty. 2015, all the way up to 2019, and even here in Mexico for the last 6 years, it's been really, really bad. Really, 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 really bad. You can see me itching now. It's annoying because sometimes you're trying to do something like make a cacao. I put coconut oil in it. I put cinnamon, cayenne pepper. I make a mix of different cacaos, alchemical ones, and put them in there. I put coconut water in it, real coconut water from a coconut, and it's delicious. And I don't even know why I said that. So I guess I'm rambling now, but well, this was going to go for 2 hours, so I've still got a half an hour. I guess I can respond to some of your questions. The reason for the itch is unknown to me and to anyone. No, the itch hasn't gone, but it's bearable now. It's very bearable. It doesn't worry me now. It hasn't worried me for a long time. But there was a month just a while ago that was not good. But not as bad as other times. The worst was last year, I think. Last year was really bad. But I don't know what the itch is. Got no idea. Targeting, too much hanging around this computer energy. Parasite, I don't know. Yeah, so DMSO. Yeah, I use every morning I put castor oil on my belly with 10% DMSO. Some people make a poultice overnight. I think that's better. But I get out in the sun and so I get some castor oil and DMSO. And I just put it on my belly. So I do use DMSO, yeah. I don't know why I said I don't like Lilith. I don't understand that, but I may have said that if I was reading someone's chart. Maybe I don't know, but I have got some very, very, very good videos. You know, there's the one. There's a video I did on 9/11 showing in the stars how it's in the stars. It's 9/11 and everything lines up, including Mercury on the ascendant when the first plane crashed. That's up. I did a presentation on the day October 13. Remember, I said October 13 has been very cruel to me when when I had a murder attempt on my life and survived it. That was in 2019. in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. So where was I going with that? I don't remember. Yeah, anyway, so I'm really excited about these videos. Please don't be too critical. They're not clean by any stretch of the imagination. I've got a long way to go. I've I've just added to this channel the 4-part series that that I got. I got some footage from my sister. I got some footage from my sister. Whilst this channel was down, I got some footage from my sister. So you can see, if you go down, scroll down, you'll see 4 parts of music, language of the universe, no job, no boss, no taxes, 40 years of freedom or something like that. But then I put those up first. I got those out because I wanted to I wanted to show where I'm at, despite the fact that I re-injured this, and now I probably could be clunky for another 3 months. But every time you see me hitting that board on in my time of dying, for instance, right? That finger is in pain. Why? Because there's no damage to this finger at all. I broke that bone. There's the scar. All right. You can see it. There it is. Okay, so why? Because this genre that I've been working on for 40 years requires to hit the golpe board with this finger, and when in doing so, this nerve tendon gets aggravated. So in compensating for this being clunky and re-injured for the first time in 20 years, 18 years, I mean, I never had a problem with it. No arthritis, and I never will. But still works pretty good, and I've got to rely on that, you see, and I've got to do golpes, and so it's not in pain now. There's no pain at all whatsoever. But when I warm up for 30 minutes, to warm up to be good enough to play as crappy as I play on those, I hope you appreciate that it's under a lot of duress and not a lot of full strength in my fingers. You know, unfortunately, I get taken away by many other things that take priority at the moment. So it makes me happy because you're watching a work in progress. I know that when this heals and when I do more exercises and more getting into the touch of it instead of being clunky, and leaving mistakes in there and not being perfect because I'm overly exhausted or whatever, tired. But it's going to get better because I'll have better mic work, and I might do it with a bit of in a kind of a studio, because if you can't hear, you can't hear what it really sounds like until you're in the room where I'm playing it. There's no way because what I'm doing is I'm using flamenco golpes to fill in for John Bonham when I'm playing Traveling Riverside Blues, and I'm actually doing what he does. And I'm doing that with that finger. So I'm merging flamenco and rock and roll. Why just play when you can go and I'm doing the both. So not only is that a thing, which is merging the two, but just keep in mind that it'll improve. So the first thing I did when I got this channel back was I said to Nick, I said, upload grab those four, because I want to see how, I want to show people how, when I was in the music, how happy I was. I was very happy. And you see me with my band, my two buddies, Juan Martinez and Alejandro Flores. And you can see that we all loved each other and we all had fun. We're always smiling. We're always like los tres amigos. You know, we never, ever had a quarrel, a bickering, anything. We were always joking around, man. Like, we had so much fun, and we went all around the world. So I wanted to put that onto Mr. Astrotheology because that's the only part that's missing. My story about how I transitioned from like Jehovah's Witness through Syncretist and music since the age of 9 to now have what I think is going to be a viable genre, a new genre. I'm gonna give it a crack. I'm gonna call it a thing, flamenco rock. That's what it's called. I've been doing it for all my life anyway, so I'll call it what I want to call it. And if it takes off, it takes off. If it doesn't matter. We're all dreaming, and it's a beautiful dream. And Mr. Astrotheology is back. So that's why you see a lot of music in your face, because I really want to go back to my roots and I think my gift, which was music. And the ability to produce good albums like Jimmy Page. I think the 3 albums that I've got available on all the platforms are pretty good. They're very, very laid back, I would say. It's not really it's not really necessarily a racy experience. My albums, yeah, there's a little bit of excitement in the music, but I think it's a bit more laid back. I think that's how I feel. A lot of people say they fall asleep to my music, especially in the early 2000s. I used to get mail, like fan mail and stuff, yeah, telling me, even before email, I had fan mail, like people saying, yeah, we conceived a child with your music. So yeah, and so I wanted to show the happy side that I that I come from, despite having a disadvantage of being a Mars Aryan with a Leo rising. Gee, that got me into a lot of trouble, that did. Oh God. Yeah. So yeah, and Calabrian, both parents from the same town. And get this, right? So I grew up in Worali, northeast Victoria, 20 minutes from Glenrowan, where Ned Kelly, the most famous of all the outlaws of history. How do I know? Well, because you see, the first full-length feature film was based on the Kelly Gang in 1906. The second one was based on Dante's Inferno in 1911. So guess who is the most famous outlaw of history? Well, the guy who grew up 20 minutes from where I did. Yeah, Mick Jagger did a kind of comedic version of Mick Jagger because, of course, we all knew that he was hanged and in 1880, and it was unjust. There were 75,000 petitions to have him pardoned. But anyway, he gets the first full-length feature film in history, right? Well, both my Calabrian parents, they grew up in the same town before they migrated to Australia in 56, 20 minutes from where the first Jewish diaspora happened, the Maccabees. Yeah. So my parents are from Soveria Manelli. I'll say it again. Soveria Manelli. And right next to Soveria Manelli is Serra Stretta. And guess what? That's where the Maccabeans went. 20 minutes away from where both my parents grew up. And I grew up 20 minutes from this guy who gets the first film in history and who was an outlaw and a baddie. So interesting, isn't it? Nick Kelly country boy. That's what I am. I'm a Kelly country boy. And it's funny, Ned Kelly dies in 1880. Billy the Kid dies the year after, 81. And Jesse James dies in 82. Ned Kelly, Billy the Kid, Jesse the James, all within 2 years. All of them the most famous outlaws in history. Bar none. Maybe Bonnie and Clyde, you might want to put in there. Al Capone, I don't know. But these guys were not bad guys like Al Capone. They were good guys like Bonnie and Clyde. Clyde was born on March the 24th. March 24th people are the Queen of Wands. He was also a guitarist like me. Clyde, 24th of March. He loved music. He was a musician. He was a good guy. Ned Kelly was a good guy. Jesse James was a good guy. Billy Kid was a good guy. These were Irish guys fighting, remembering the potato famines, remembering the English and the Orange people, remembering the sufferings of their people. They filled the penal camps, the Irish criminals, the Irish convicts. No, those are Irish people. Why the Irish? Why? I don't know. Why the fuck anybody? Why the fuck do we have to hate the Jews and the Muslims and the wobbly people and the gubbly, joggly, biggly, doggly ones? There's all kinds of wrong people. And you have to hate them and you have to kill them. That's fun. I don't know. Is anyone having fun with that? I'm not. But I'm happy. I generate my own happiness despite being tortured at times. So, in great gratitude for having restored this great resource for humanity, because I've always known things. I know that this channel and my contribution and my content will be honored forever. Forever. I know that. I knew when I was 14 and a half that forever that there would be a Led Zeppelin industry. Elvis Presley copiers, there are no more left. No one does Michael Jackson anymore. We're sick of that. You can't make money doing tribute to Sabbath, Black Sabbath or Pink Floyd or fucking anyone else. But why? Why are there tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of bands making millions of dollars tributing only one band? Why? It's a whole industry. And this is what I say to YouTube. I thank you very much for giving me this channel, but you know what? You made a lot of money from the uploads and the ads of all those people. And the AI knows how many and how much money you made. It's all recorded. Everything's recorded. You took my channel down. That was naughty, but you gave it back. But in the meantime, I lost what you could call some financial kickback. And you are the AI. Just ask the chat GBT. Just say, yeah, yeah, you know how we fucked up and we took down MrAstrotheology, right? Yeah, that stupid thing, and it's in the history books, and yeah, we look like a bunch of fucking jackasses. But then we gave him his channel back. Yeah, right. So, how many trillions of dollars did we make from the revenue of the copycat? Just like Led Zeppelin's copycatted. How much revenue did we make in the meantime? And how many Ferraris do we drive? We love Ferraris. So we stopped the world from a treasure trove of syncretism, and in the meantime, we've got Ferraris. Is that how it works? Okay. So I don't know if there's anyone that's connected to warmongering that has anything to do with that. Well, I don't know. Does that make you happy? I suppose it does. Yeah. Some husbands kill their wives. Some wives kill their husbands. Some nations kill indigenous people. Some nations destroy and take over other nations. Yeah, it's all a bit theatre, isn't it? It's all fun and theatre and circus and bread until the bread runs out. See, back in the time of Tacitus in Rome, the senator spoke out and said, why don't we make the slaves wear the plebeians? This is the patricians. Of course, the Senate, like Congress, are a bunch of patricians, all kings and freaking priests and shit. Said, why don't we make the slaves wear like Hitler did in the Second World War, right? So the armband, right? So and all the senators revolted and said, "Are you kidding?" Once they know that everyone will be wearing a slave badge. Once they know that how many there are that are slaves, that we think are plebeians and slaves, our bread and circus is over. Anyway, I think government is over. Government's a joke. Be self-determined. Be self-determined. Okay, so if anyone's going to talk shit, can your moderators get them out? Because I don't want people telling me I'm talking shit. I don't talk shit. Okay? Don't be a smart ass. Yeah, deleted message. Next one will be deleted you. We're all happy in here. All right? So, the 28th of October. So are we going to have an asteroid blast the Earth? No. What we'll have is we will have a simulation of that. There are no real scientists. There are no real scientists that think that there's a rock falling coming toward the Earth. There are pseudoscientists only. You'll see. You'll see. Just like in January, the smart fire. Oh, sorry, the wildfire of California. Then there was the mist. Then there was the skinwalkers. Then there was the planes falling out of the sky. Fuck, all right already. Fucking Shakespeare. Theatre. Enough already. Enough already. No one likes to see people out in the cold without a home when there are kings and presidents in palaces. Because no one's happy. Do you think Trump? Do you guys think Trump's happy? He's got handlers. He's not happy. No one's happy. He knows that he's got to sue some people. He knows that there are people suing him. Everyone's suing this one. Just fucking everyone forgive each other and just stop. And let's go to Jamaica and drink some Jamaican rum in the moonlight and fuck the system. Which system? I've never seen it exist. Yeah, I've seen it from without. I've never been a part of it. Well, yeah, I have. You have to. But in the main, I've been a rebel, AC/DC, rock and roll singer. Check out the lyrics. That's me. So, all right, I'm at the top of the hour. So I will close off because I had to do part 2. And this is my gratitude. 28th of October, Scorpio. And let's check the moon, man. Oh my God, I can't believe I haven't checked. I can't believe I haven't checked where the moon is today. This is so important. Capricorn. I got my my channel back. The moon is transiting Capricorn. And that's when MrAstrotheology started on the 12th of January 2011 in Capricorn. That's pretty good, guys. It's always there. If you know what to look for, progress charts are one thing. You will see where you are at. You will see how your sun, your inner you, is acting. So if you're Aries, in your early life, you will be Aries. Then you will transition into Taurus and Gemini. That's my story. I'm in Gemini now, 5 degrees Gemini. So for another 25 years, I will be Geminian. You know, Bipolar. My sister used to say I was bipolar. Thanks, Bruno. Says, why don't you go to the doctor and check? Because I think you're bipolar. And I'm like, yeah, I am, I guess. But anyway, doesn't matter. Isn't that interesting? So the moon is in Capricorn, where the sun was when I began Mr. Astrotheology in January, the 12th of January, 2011, while I was a musician. And so how did this happen? Well, Cesare, and Cesare, if you're out there, please connect with me. He built my site, Universal Truth School. He built and chose the name of this channel, Mr. Astrotheology. He was my hairdresser. He was the hairdresser for freaking Madonna, for Mick Jagger, all the stars that came to Melbourne. He was the hairdresser, Cesare, and he was my hairdresser, right? So he'd be doing my hair, and I'm laid back, and I'm talking. What do you? My new I started in 27 and 28 talking about the wave and the ecliptic and astrotheology, right? So Jesuit is snipping away and he's loving it. And he's going, dude, you got to make a channel. And I said, yeah, well, okay, well, I'll do it. I'll do a channel. That's what I want to do. And then he says, I can build it for you. And he did. Thank you, Cesare. I love you, brother. I love you, man. He's a Leo, proud, cutting my hair, a lot of flair, you know, all the women loved him. He was a sexy man. Cesare, reach out to me, please. He called it Mr. Astrotheology. I didn't choose that. He just did it. And he says, here's your channel. Oh, Mr. Astrotheology. Yeah, that's cool. And now I have the other one too as well, Syncretism - Santos Bonacci. So those ones which I've been doing in the last year and a half since this channel was down, those will be populated onto this channel. So nothing will be missing, it's all there. Except for videos that we took down that or that were taken down. But I would like to do something. I would like to be able to know how to get YouTube's attention to have a channel which I have the email address to Syncretism Academy YouTube channel, which belongs to a deceased person, my best friend, Daniel. Daniel has his parents who may have power of attorney over his estate. It would be nice that Syncretism Academy channel be maybe we do a GoFundMe. I don't know. Anyway, so I've done my time. I get tired like anyone else. All right, guys. Now, don't forget I'm on school. Yes, it's a subscription based. But there will be things that will be protected and this won't ever repeat. And this happens every Thursday, 2 p.m. Mexico Central Standard Time. So there I will be teaching things like on the 13th of next month, we will have someone dealing with the trusts and law and sovereignty. You don't want to miss that. I can't make it public. It's got to be private in school. And then on Tuesdays at the same time, 2 p.m., I'm doing Patreon. All right. So, yeah, Daniel died in a car accident in Tanzania, running a gold mine. So, yeah, he has it's his email, and his estate will have that email. And if this channel has been deemed worthy to be re-platformed, then so should so should the lovers of syncretism. I think the lovers of syncretism should, and that school that we did under extreme duress, have to wear a mask here, have to wear a mask there, all kinds of hideous things. We had infiltrators. I counted 3 infiltrators. CIA infiltrators, yes. And Daniel's father died in 2022, February 1st. The same day Daniel dies, 3 years later, this year, February 1st. So Daniel, the founder of the Syncretism Academy YouTube channel, and did all that work for me to teach on, but he was doing the Tesla coils, right? There are presentations in there, hundreds of mine, that will never see the light of day unless YouTube is petitioned. And if they were kind enough to let me back on, then they should be kind enough to let that wisdom be given back to the world, because everyone is not doing too well. When I go to my channel, even this one now, I tend to go to, you know how you go to, let me see, home, right? Okay. Alex Jones just gave a shocking warning. Jamaica now, Hurricane Melissa, 295-kilometer winds. A secret alliance, Klaus Schwab, Peter Thiel, and AI take over. What else is going on? What a day to get my channel back. Oh, wow. Dang, shit, diddly dang. But guess what? The AI knows what I knew when I was 14 and a half, within 6 beats of custard pie, that Led Zeppelin would be an industry forever. And they are. Yep. Why? Because they did Tolkien. They did 31 songs from the Mississippi Delta, 31 songs. When the Levee Breaks, which I just did, was from Memphis Minnie. When the levee breaks, mama, you got to go. Led Zeppelin just took all the revival of the 60s music. You got to remember, Jimmy Page was doing Bo Diddley and freaking Scotty Moore and all these guitarists in the studio. Session musician for Goldfinger, session musician for the Kinks, the Stones, the freaking Who. Jimmy Page was doing the blues and the revival, and Robert Plant's in the Midlands in Birmingham with John Bonham, the best drummer in the history of history, and he's singing Howlin' Wolf, and who else inspired him? Howling Wolf, and who's the other one that inspired him? But anyway, so this is why there's still an industry. Which other band tributed the Delta Blues 31 times? I will name you the songs. I've made the list. You can check this, guys. I wish everything didn't get smudged out though. Oh, here it is. Okay, screenshots, guys. Here's me 50 years later, still trying to convince people that Led Zeppelin are the greatest band in history. And this is how I do it. With metrics and criteria and statistics. That's how you do it. So here's all the artists. Take a snapshot of that. 18 different artists, and it gives you the figures of how many times they ripped them. So they ripped Willie Dixon 3 times. Okay, there's Led Zeppelin's list of Mississippi Delta, not to include the 9 Tolkien songs from Lord of the Rings. Okay, and Stairway to Heaven being Steiner, because remember, Robert Plant was going to teach in the Steiner system in 1977 when the band was going to dismember. When his son died and the band dismembered. He went to the Steiner school where he and John Bonham did school. So that was Stairway to Heaven. He just remembered how to ascend and wrote it in a beautiful book. There you go. 18 different artists. There's Robert Johnson 4 times. 4 times. This is Led Zeppelin. This is the Delta, the 30s. Right? Let me show you all the songs. There's the proof. Screenshot away. That's the first album and the second album. Look at the songs that they ripped off or tributed, depending on how you want to see it. Everybody did this. Everybody did this, right? Just let me go on. All Led Zeppelin quote unquote rip-offs. Screenshot. All from the Delta Blues. 31 songs. The Stones probably did 3. This is why they are still an industry. There's Custard Pie. Look at Custard Pie alone. There are 4 songs and 4 artists in one song. No wonder I knew that they would be a forever industry and that their music was timeless. And I knew that I would do searches and read books because I've got all the magazines. I collected them since I was a kid at my brother's house in storage. All the articles about how other bands say that Led Zeppelin are the greatest bands. So that's what the other bands say. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Screenshot. I still haven't finished, guys. So look at that. Custard Pie has got one of my favorites. In fact, my very favorite, Sleepy John Estes in Drop Down Mama. Drop Down Mama. So he opens with Sleepy John Estes's lyrics. No. Robert Plant goes, oh, drop down, mama, let your daddy see. So that's from Sleepy John Estes, my favorite by far, my favorite, including Skip James and Sunhouse. Whoa. But anyway, this is my favorite song, period. This song, it's funny, this song is on the top of my list of all my favorite Mississippi Delta songs, Drop Down Mama. And it's all about the women taking heroin, the black women in the South, and dropping down. Drop Down Mama. They were called Drop Down Mamas. Right, let's keep going. Traveling Riverside Blues, Robert Johnson. Trampled Underfoot, Robert Johnson. Terraplane Blues. Let's keep going. How many songs? Presence, Nobody's Fault But Mine. Blind Willie Johnson from the Mississippi Delta in the 30s. 30 songs. There's the proof. Screenshot away. Oh, hang on. Yeah, 30 songs. I thought it was 31. But there's the proof. And how many artists? Back 18 artists. Just in case you missed that. Take a shot of that. That's how many artists. How many did Black Sabbath, The Who, and Pink Floyd and the Rolling Stones put together do? So why am I saying this? Because I knew I was going to get this channel back. Gratitude and thanks. So I'm out of here. Much love, guys.